The girl just opened the wrong door, the laser went through her head in an instant. It turns out they were playing a game. If you open the wrong door, you die, and those who refuse to play will also die. The game begins. Everyone disappeared. Looking at the empty street, the three wasted teenagers look confused. What's going on? Has everyone been quarantined? They guess they were the only three left in the world. They cheered happily. Just as they were about to take over the world, the big screen behind them suddenly lit up. It said welcome to all players. The game is about to begin. They followed the directions. They arrived at the game hall. The counter was full of cell phones. A sign on the side said one for each player. The moment they picked it up, their faces were recognized. There was no signal, no apps, only a countdown popped up. What the hell is this? When I was confused, a hot white girl in high heels walks up. She took off the guy's license plate and threw it at the door. The license plate was instantly pierced by a laser, and it looks like the venue has been sealed off with lasers. If you go outside, you'll be killed. And new players are still coming. There are only two doors in front of us. The one with the cartoon character is the door of life. The one with the skeleton is the door of death. The hottie thought it would be good luck to choose the door of life. She urges everyone to use the life door. Yellow hair said, then why don't you go? When we were hesitating, the ground is spewing black smoke. The countdown is in the last 20 seconds. The female student couldn't bear the torment. She went straight to the door. She didn't even have time to say her last words. After her trial and error, the other teammates did not hesitate to rush into the door of death. Sure enough, they made it through. As the countdown ended, the room was engulfed in flames. It seems that if you time out or make a wrong choice, you die. At this time, the countdown on the phone restarted, and there were 10 seconds less than the previous round. The hot girl suggested that the boy should try the door, and called him unmanly, in order to prove that he is a pure man. Ryuei grabbed the door handle in anger, but only for a moment. Then he sat down on his butt. The hot girl hurried to make up for it. She kept cursing and cursing. Yellow hair roared. He opened the door with his eyes closed. Luckily, he got it right. Everyone rushed to follow him in. The room was engulfed in flames again. The countdown is updated again. This time, there are 10 seconds missing. Yellow hair couldn't stand it. He suddenly realized that this is a game, and his best friend Ryuei was a master of the game. But Ryuei was scared out of his wits. He couldn't think straight. In a moment of desperation, Yellow hair punched him. Unexpectedly, it opened up his veins. He suddenly thought of the BM523 car at the entrance of the venue. He waved his hand in the air a few times. He decided to choose the dead end. It turns out that the car is 4 meters and 94 centimeters long. The total length of the building is about 4 cars. That means the total length of the building is about 20 meters. He measured it with his feet. He measured the room as a square with a side length of 6 meters. Combined with the escape route map, we can see that the shape of the building is a square. If you do the math, the structure of the rooms in the building forms a 9-cell grid. In the first level, the female student died in the room on the right. That means the right door is a dead end. Follow this dead end. Ryuei led us through one level after another. The scary thing is, this is only the easiest first level. A fresh body rolled out of the hallway. The wastrel boy peeked over. He saw a horse-faced man. He was shooting at the players with an Ingram M10 submachine gun. The three of them ran for their lives. Ryuei had an idea, grabbed his friend's collar. He hid in the recess of the wall on the same floor. Horse-faced man really ran down the hallway. He went after the screaming man. Soon after, the sound of machine gun fire came from the hallway. The two teenagers took a breath of fresh air. They were playing a game of hide-and-seek. Players must find the base camp in 20 minutes. During that time, if the ghost catches them, they will die. If the mission is not completed after 20 minutes, then the apartment will be detonated by explosives. Everyone will die. The man in front of me has a broken heart. He wants to escape from the apartment. Why don't you just stop playing? He hit the infrared fence. He rose to the sky instantly. Horseface is still arresting people in the hallway. He hit Miss Yellow with only one bullet. Ms. Pink was furious. She took off her high heels and hit her hard, but the next moment, she was blitzed too. Ryuei poked his head out from afar. He collided with Horseface, but Horseface didn't notice him at all. He found the key to pass the level. He yelled and contacted the other players. Upon hearing this message, everyone responded, but this sister-in-law was too slow to respond. She couldn't be saved by the stair climbers. She had to run away alone. On the other side, the strong man and the yellow-haired man have made an alliance. Both of them are forceful. They agree that Horseface is a human being. Together they may not be able to defeat him. The radio announced that there are 5 minutes left before the countdown ends. The two of them took the fire extinguisher and went into action. According to the strong man's instructions, Turban yells in the hallway. He revealed his location. Horseface arrived at the sound. According to the agreement, the strong man was supposed to sneak in from the side, but he didn't keep his word. But he didn't move. How can a teammate be so unreliable? Yellow hair hides in the corner, shivering. He raised the fire extinguisher to protect his head. The strong man favors him alone. When he ran out of bullets, Yellow Hair swung the fire extinguisher and shot him in the head. Horseface was unharmed. He even kicked him in the back. The strong man jumped on him and fought with him at close range. After 3 moves, he was half dead. Yellow Hair pulled out his knife. He stabbed him in the back. Ma Mian flicked it away. It's easy to get away. He pulled out a meter-long sword. Horizontal chop, vertical chop, slanting. The knife is fatal. Yellow Hair couldn't dodge. He took a knife to the waist. Luckily, the strong man did not give up. He kicked away the knife with all his strength. The horse-faced man stumbled a little. He was still unharmed, but the Ghostbusters Union is completely out of control. In the nick of time, Ryuei, the wise man, noticed a door full of bullet holes. He saw a bright light, so this is the solution to the problem. This is a deadly game of hide and seek. If the ghost catches you, you're dead. The man in the hat held his head and hid under the corridor. He was hiding very well, but the ghost is shooting wildly in his direction. Seeing that the ghost is so nervous about this room, Ryuei guessed that the base camp was here. He and the man in white entered quietly. They thought they were on the verge of victory, but there was a special guard in the room. The man in white took out a short-circuiting motor and electrocuted the ghost. They were just half relieved. In a panic, the man in white hid outside the door. Ryuei hid inside the house. The thin door shook violently. It was about to be broken. It turns out there are 2 switches in the room. As long as they are pressed at the same time, the door will be cleared. But Ryuei couldn't reach them alone. He opened the window and called for help from his sister. Sister's hands are very agile, but there's only 1 minute left in the game. On the other side, the Ghostbusters are dead and wounded. Yellow Hair couldn't stand up at all. He can only watch as the big knife slashes at his teammates. The sharp blade is slowly approaching his face. The strong man roared. He turned his body to free himself. The guardian ghost walked into the room. He raised his machine gun and started shooting. Ryuei leaned down and slammed the ghost against the wall. Then he wrapped his arms around him, trying to control the direction of the machine gun, but he's too weak. The ghost wraps his left arm around his neck. Ryuei was about to lose his grip. When the countdown reaches 30 seconds, Ms. Climber leaps out of the window. She grabbed the window firmly. She climbed into the base camp. The man in white waiting for an opportunity. He threw the power generator at us. Sister Climber slipped and grabbed the weapon. With the help of inertia, she hit the ghost's thigh. The ghost went into a brief coma. He even dropped his horse's head. There are still 5 seconds left. Ryuei and Sister Climber leaped forward. At the same time, they hit the button. Finally, the level was cleared at the last second, only to see the pursuer slowly rise. No one would have guessed that behind Horseface was an ignorant woman. She looked around timidly. It turns out that the pursuer is also a player. They're just on opposing sides. We didn't have time to say a word. The iron ring around the lady's neck flashed blue. She couldn't breathe. The strong man's side is safe again. Looking at their opponent's head suddenly exploded. Both of them are a bit confused, until the opponent's cell phone slipped. After the game ended, the screen automatically went black. The walkie-talkie in the turbaned man's pocket suddenly rang. In it, he said, "Marina is the answer. This clue will be the key to solving the game." In the woods, Hottie grabbed Yellowhair. She hit him hard with a rock on his waist. Yellowhair was screaming in pain, but he never dared to look back, so they were playing hide and seek. At the beginning, Chotar was assigned as a werewolf, the other three were assigned to be sheepmen. Chotar didn't want to join this game. He tried his best to pull on the collar. Ryaway tried to stop her. After all, the last woman had her head blown off by the collar. Chotar followed the sound and looked at Ryaway. The identity of the werewolf was instantly transferred to Ryaway. Ryaway looked at Yellowhair. The identity of the werewolf shifted to Yellowhair again. It turns out that if you're caught by a werewolf, you become the next werewolf. In this game, only the werewolf can survive. That means only one of us can survive, Spice Girl yelled out. The three of them subconsciously looked at her. The identity of the werewolf was instantly changed. Hottie turned around and ran away. She hid in the rainforest pavilion. Yellowhair chased after her. He quickly found her. Hottie tripped over a tree trunk. She fell on her face. Yellowhair took the opportunity to turn her over. The witty woman's eyes were closed. He swung his knife in anger. Hottie dodged decisively. The knife was stuck in the roots of the tree. She couldn't pull it out. She tried to run away, but Yellowhair grabbed her. Hottie was furious. She grabbed a rock and hit him hard on his injured waist. Yellowhair fell to the ground in pain. I never thought. Spice Girl let her guard down. She accidentally looked over. After the two of them looked at each other, the identity of the werewolf was transferred to Yellowhair. Yellowhair turned around and tried to run. Spice Girl tried her best to catch him. A big rock came crashing down. It's going to break his waist. Yellowhair fought back with all his might. He finally got rid of this tough opponent. At this moment, his friend Ryaway shouted. Yellowhair subconsciously looked over. This hardened werewolf identity has been stolen again. There are still 10 minutes left in the game. Yellowhair was furious. Is friendship so cheap in the face of life and death? Soon, this desperate duo found Ryaway. They attacked from both sides. The hot girl was even more impatient. She rushed forward before she finished her sentence. Chotar jumped on his girlfriend, asked her not to hurt her best buddy. Ryaway took the opportunity to run away. Yellowhair covered his waist and picked up the knife and stumbled after him. Ryaway had already hid in a hidden corner. He took out all kinds of hardware tools, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't open the collar. Thinking of the old lady who shot him in the head, he was completely desperate. Ignoring the shouts of his brothers, he huddled in the corner and hugged his knees in pain. There are still 5 minutes left in the game. The game field suddenly quieted down. The three brothers thought of the good times they had. If there is a chance to survive, they are willing to let their friends. Ryaway ran out of the corner, looking around for his friends, but the two friends were hiding. At the last second, Ryaway finally found them, but he saw the cruelest scene in the world.